Nestlé is one of the most recognizable food brands worldwide, but behind its friendly logo lies a history filled with scandals, from child labor and deforestation to contaminated products and water exploitation. Despite endless lawsuits and global criticism, Nestlé has grown into the largest food company in the world. How did that happen? Company's roots trace back to the 1800s, when Henry Nestlé, a German-born pharmacist, created infant formula as an alternative to breast milk. His invention was a lifesaver for infants unable to breastfeed, and it quickly gained popularity across Europe. By the early 20th century, Nestlé was expanding its product line, venturing into chocolate, condensed milk, and packaged foods. The company's growth strategy was aggressive, buying up rivals and scaling globally at a rapid pace. But as Nestlé's empire grew, so did its controversies. A darker chapter in the company's history began when it started aggressively marketing infant formula as superior to breast milk. Mothers across the globe were persuaded to switch, even though formula lacked the crucial antibodies and health benefits that only breast milk provides. This marketing push was particularly problematic in developing countries where access to clean water and proper sanitation was limited. In poorer countries, Nestlé's tactics were especially questionable. The company gave out free samples in hospitals and even used sales representatives dressed as nurses to promote its formula. This practice led many mothers to believe that formula was a better choice for their babies, endorsed by medical professionals. However, the reality was far more sinister. Many mothers, lacking access to clean water, unknowingly mixed the powder with contaminated sources, leading to malnutrition, diarrhea, pneumonia, and tragically higher infant mortality rates. The consequences of Nestlé's aggressive marketing were devastating. In areas where clean water was scarce, babies fed with formula mixed with contaminated water fell ill. Mothers who had been convinced to switch to formula often found that their own milk production had decreased, leaving them dependent on a product they could ill afford. The result was a public health crisis that affected countless families in developing nations. But the infant formula scandal was just the tip of the iceberg. Investigations later revealed that Nestlé products in Africa, Asia, Latin America were laced with added sugars, unlike their counterparts in Europe, fueling obesity and disease in regions already struggling with health issues. This double standard in product formulation raised serious questions about the company's ethical practices and commitment to consumer health. The controversies didn't stop there. Nestlé also faced massive recalls when contaminated packaging and harmful chemicals like melamine were found in its baby food products. These incidents not only put consumers at risk, but also highlighted the company's apparent lack of quality control and safety measures in certain markets. In California, a state known for its environmental consciousness, Nestlé found itself at the center of another scandal. The company was discovered to be siphoning off a staggering 45 million gallons of water annually from public land, paying almost nothing while selling bottled water for billions. This practice has severe consequences for local ecosystems, with rivers and natural habitats drying up as a result of Nestlé's water extraction. Similar accusations surfaced in other locations, including Michigan, Colorado, Pakistan, and Nigeria, painting a picture of a company willing to exploit natural resources for profit, regardless of the environmental impact. The company's ethical issues extended beyond environmental concerns. Nestlé has been linked to child labor on cocoa farms in West Africa, where children under 15 work long hours without protection, sometimes unpaid. Human rights groups have accused Nestlé of turning a blind eye to these practices while profiting from the cheap labor. The stark contrast between the company's public image and the reality of its supply chain has led to widespread criticism and calls for reform. Yet, despite these numerous scandals and ethical concerns, Nestlé has continued to grow and prosper. How has the company managed to maintain its position as the world's largest food company in the face of such controversy? The answer lies in a complex web of corporate strategies, global economics, and the power of brand recognition. One key to Nestlé's past resilience has been its ability to play both sides of the global economic divide. In poorer nations, the company creates jobs, funds education programs, and supports small businesses, earning goodwill while still benefiting from cheap labor and weak regulations. This dual approach allows Nestlé to present itself as a benevolent corporate citizen while simultaneously exploiting economic disparities for profit. Moreover, Nestlé's vast portfolio of brands and products gives it significant leverage in the global market. Many consumers may be unaware that their favorite snacks, pet foods, or bottled water brands are owned by Nestlé, making it difficult to boycott the company effectively. This diversification strategy has helped insulate Nestlé from the full impact of individual scandals. The company has also invested heavily in marketing and public relations, working tirelessly to maintain its image as a trusted household name. Through sponsorships, charitable initiatives, and carefully crafted messaging, Nestlé has managed to distance itself from its controversies in the public eye, at least to some extent. Furthermore, Nestlé's global reach and economic power give it significant influence over governments and regulatory bodies. The company has been known to lobby aggressively for favorable policies and to fight against regulations that might impact its bottom line. This political clout has helped Nestlé weather storms that might have sunk smaller, less influential companies. The bigger picture reveals a sobering truth. Nestlé, like many large corporations, often puts profit above all else. By bending laws, lobbying governments, and prioritizing shareholders, it has built a global empire on questionable ethics. This approach is not unique to Nestlé, but is symptomatic of a broader issue in global capitalism, where the pursuit of profit can overshadow ethical considerations and social responsibility. As consumers become more aware and concerned about the ethical practices of the companies they support, Nestlé faces increasing pressure to reform its practices. The company has made some efforts to address its most glaring issues, such as pledging to eliminate child labor from its supply chain and improving its environmental practices. However, critics argue that these efforts are often too little, too late, and fail to address the root causes of the problems. The story of Nestlé serves as a cautionary tale about the power of multinational corporations and the potential consequences of unchecked corporate growth. It raises important questions about corporate responsibility, ethical business practices, and the role of consumers in holding companies accountable. As we continue to navigate a world where global corporations wield enormous influence, the case of Nestlé reminds us of the importance of transparency, ethical business practices, and consumer awareness. The challenge for the future will be finding ways to balance corporate growth with social responsibility, showing that the pursuit of profit does not come at the expense of human rights, environmental sustainability, and public health.